So I've probably over the last, 19 years shipped 100 VCRs exactly like I just showed you here, and got it in 2 number 7s and got it under 6 pounds. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. We're in the Commonwealth cabin in here, and I've cheated a little bit today. I've pulled a few items already that have sold. I think there's 2 more that I haven't pulled yet. We might go grab those in just a second. But a few of these items that sold today are items that came from that auction that you saw us do last week. We did a high bid auction just really to test it out. I don't really need the inventory, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd be much better served if I went back in there and started pulling out of my death pile again, and I will, and I have. But we did that, and I think the 3 big items now have all sold from that, I think like $16 buy, and we've made pretty good money on it. And so the final 2 items from that sale sold today, and I want to show you those. But I cheated a little bit by pulling a lot of items already, and there's just a couple things in the eBay cave in there that I want to talk about as well. But there's like 28 sales, but I'm going to knock it down to like half of those because Regan wants to come on. She has a little announcement for you, and I'm not quite sure where in this video we're going to put it. And we also have 2 Homeschool Hustlers sales that I want to show you as well. So let's go grab those 2 in the back, and then we'll talk about these items here. We'll show you a couple Homeschool Hustler sales, and then go into the eBay cave, and I think there's 3 or 4 more sales in there, and then Regan's going to come on and give us her little announcement. We have I've pulled, like I said, I've pulled a few. Here we go. This is the one. This is all that railroad stuff. I really didn't want to put it in a bin just yet because I need a bin for up here. But we sold a couple of these operator manuals. I can't remember what they sold for. And it looks like that last VCR. I've already pulled one. Here is the Emerson VCR. That was funny. I heard so many of you comment about. You remember that one. And we sold that one as well. I want to show you one more thing real quick. Can you see that phone right there? I have it listed. I found it in my death pile the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put that thing on the wall. It's blue. It's Commonwealth Picker blue. Anyways, let's set you up here, and then we'll talk about these items for a minute. All right, we'll talk about this Emerson one first. I put a good price. I put a good price on a lot of stuff. I got to be honest with you. I'm not into storing stuff forever. If I got to take $2 less to get it in and out, that's what we'll do most of the time. Not all the time. This one's a clean machine here, and the model number on it is EWV401B. I've sold this one before. I love these. This is a way you can tell sometimes, is if they have this little cutout here, you know, they're saving space, they're saving size and weight. And whenever I have these, I know I can ship these priority mail a lot of times, and it's going to be just as cheap as going through FedEx. Not all the time, or going through UPS, or even doing parcel post. And it's much more enticing to people if anything, if you leave the option for priority mail and then put the other options on there as well. And I haven't checked to see how this one sold, but more than likely, this is going to go in a number 7 box. And it's not always that you can put VCRs in a number 7 box and ship them priority mail, but I bet we can on this one. So I've probably over the last, 19 years shipped 100 VCRs exactly like I just showed you here, and got it in 2 number 7s and got it under 6 pounds. Never had a complaint. It's securely packaged. This is 18 by 13 by 5, and this guy is shipping out priority mail. Will be there in 2 days for $7.91. Just in case you don't believe me, here you go. So we have, I put 6 pounds, 18 by 13 by 5. Now this is going to North Carolina, so you're not going to ship this thing to California like this. But this thing's going out priority mail, $7.91. Just by not having the right size box or not being able to resize it or to Frankenbox this thing, the price is going to go from $7.91 if you're doing priority mail. Let's just change it 3 inches. So if I wouldn't have cut the 3 inches down, because that's 12 by 12 by 8 box, if I wouldn't have cut that thing down and we would have kept it at 8 inches high, we would have gone from $7.91 to $11.64. So it is definitely well worth your time to be able to learn how to Frankenbox. To get a resizer if need be, it doesn't matter which one, but you know, Lonnie's been nice to my show, so go over to Lonnie's and get his when he reorders them. At any rate, it sold for $29.95 plus shipping, and this is part of that buy along with the other VCR that I'm going to talk about in a minute. I just want to see if I can show you something. Here you go. Can you see the difference in size there? There's an extra 3 inches on the one in the back, and it must weigh 3 more pounds at least. This is really light. This is much heavier. So I would typically not buy this at a garage sale. Even if it was just $1 or $2, I wouldn't buy it. It's big, bulky, heavy, and the sell-through rate isn't always good on them. So I put a really good price on it. They're both tested and working, and the shipping on this is going to be more than the shipping on that, where that one's going priority and this one's going FedEx. That's more than likely what's going to happen here. So I listed this one for $19.95 plus shipping. And remember, this one has no remote. I didn't even put a VHS tape with it. I usually put blanks with it. I didn't put the AV cables with it because I only have a couple left and I wanted to keep them. And it still sold for $19.95 in today's climate. So this one, $19.95, $29.95, and then I think $35.95 for the Corningware. So that puts us at a profit of about $50, and that's a profit after everything is paid for from that high bid online auction, and that's with only 3 sales. Had a lot of people remind me out there, hey, don't get rid of that crock pot. I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. I would have made sure somebody got it, but they're like, hey, the crock pot lids will sell sometimes, and I will definitely go through and part that out. All right, so just talk about VCRs for just a second, and if you're an old timer here and you've been reselling for a long time, forgive me, but if you are new and you have not delved into electronics at all, and you want to start doing VCRs, one little thing I do is set up a testing station. I have a TV inside. When we go into the eBay cave, you'll see a TV behind me, and it already has AV cables sticking out of it, and I have a little table right there on top of this dresser, and I set the VCR there. I'll plug it in, the plug's right there, the AV cables come right up to it, so I'm not constantly attaching and reattaching stuff. In the top drawer of that dresser, if you'll look in there, there's a seal of Virginia, the Commonwealth seal, on the top drawer of that dresser. You'll see it in there when we go in there in a minute. And I have a VHS in there and I have a DVD in there. And I just pop that thing out, put it in, test it. The whole process takes less than, it might take a little bit more than a minute. I hit fast forward, I hit rewind, I hit stop fast forward, stop rewind, make sure everything's functioning okay. And then I take it out and I put it in a pile. And at that point, once I get them all tested, then I do all the cleaning then, and then I do all the pictures next. And while I'm doing pictures, I'll measure it. I'll take a picture of it with the yardstick on it. I'll take a picture with it on the scale as well. And so all the information's right there in my pictures. But I do it systematically. Don't ever clean your electronics before you test them. I did that in the past, and that's a big giant waste of time. You go through 10 minutes to clean a really dirty item, which I would suggest maybe not buying that item, and then you test it and it doesn't work. You'll be pretty disappointed. This came from a really fun yard sale. Matter of fact, it's our most popular garage sale video. It's got over 100,000 views right now, which blows my mind. But at any rate, this came from one of the sales on that video, and we are already in the profit in this buy. And we also had a video where I talked about the World War II letters. If you remember seeing that one, that young man right there who basically forged a signature in order to get into World War II because he was underaged, this is his stuff. And we have sold a bit of it off to some railroad collectors. These are 2 operating manuals, GM operating manuals. The other one behind it is cooler looking, but I'm not going to take off the rubber bands. And these sold for $19.95 plus shipping, and we're in the pure profit at this point. So the profit on this is going to be around 18 bucks. Another one of our 150 LU $2 t-shirts sold. This is going to be a profit of around $8 for this shirt. It's a 3XL, a woman's 3XL. And I got to remember to take the stickers off. Nobody wants to get a shirt that has a $2 sticker on it. So they paid $15.95 and the tag says $17.83. They're much happier than when they look at the tag and it says $2. That reminds me of a topic I've heard come up on a couple people's shows. Matt, part-time picker. I think I've heard John talk about it. I know I've heard Lonnie talk about it. If you have a new item that has a sticker on it, take the sticker off. If you have a vintage item that has the price tag on it, even if the price is far lower than what you're selling it for, which it usually is, leave the sticker on it. A lot of people like to have the sticker. Matter of fact, take a picture of the vintage price tag on it. Some of the VHS I have over there from Kmart, I leave that sticker on, and I look on eBay, and sometimes they tend to go for a little bit more money, believe it or not. All right, I forgot to grab one real quick. So let's go back in and grab it. This is, I think, if I have this right, I think I'm going to be in the right bin here. You know, it's like playing Tetris. You got to figure out how to get these things out of here sometimes. So you got to turn this one this way, pull it here, and that means I can get into this one. I think I'll find it. Now, of course, I did all that work, and it was in the Ohio, my pumpkin bin. That's where it was. So these are the sham wows that I sold the other day. Haven't sold any in a long time, but these sold, and they sold to a viewer who also bought an Eneman, and I think her name is Kelly. Let me look. All right, so we checked, and the sham wows and the Eneman went to Kathy, and this is one of each. So it's the towel. It's two-piece set. I really don't remember. I bought a lot of them. I can't remember quite how much I paid for them because I've had them for quite a while. But each set has been selling for $12.80 plus shipping. And this guy right here, this little Fleet Eneman went with it. She says, "I love your shows and your family. I finally gave up and I'm getting an Eneman." Or she says enema. I hope it's not an enema. I hope you're getting an Eneman. Cracks me up to say that. There's another pun right there. Boy, we got to stay away from those. Hoping he gives my store, Cat's Alluring Treasures, some good luck, because things have been sort of slow for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Kathy, or Cat maybe. And we hope he does bring you some good luck. We hear he gets things moving pretty well. All right, we have another pit puzzle going out the door. I think we're down to 3 more puzzles, and that's it. I think 2 Arizonas and 1 pit. I think that's right. Is all we have left, which is unbelievable considering 3 months ago I thought I'm never ever going to get rid of these puzzles, and they've been selling pretty well. So 2 more of these left and 1 Arizona puzzle left, I think is right. $13.88, free shipping, and it stays under 16 ounces, which is really nice. All right, we have a pair of vintage plaid 70s pants right here that sold for $22.95, and this is to a first-time eBay buyer. I've seen so many first-time eBay buyers, or at the very least, it's a unique ID, and it's just red, black, and white checkered. I think I saw another one of these come across that are really cool looking. I think those sold for $25, but these were $22.95, and my wife, this is how she listed them. Vintage 60s, 70s plaid, wide leg pants, permanent press, rolled cuff, and then she put the measurements for them, and they are handmade, and they are part of the Sunny Shares sale. So let's take a look at where we're at on that consignment so far. All right, we are at $565. That's profit to be divided 2 ways, and we still have maybe 2/3 of it left, which is really cool. All right, we're going to probably get a couple of Homeschool Hustlers right now to show you what sold out of their store. I think we have 2 Homeschool Hustler store sales. One of the items is something I remember from my youth. And then the other item, I think, was bought by a viewer out there. And then we're going to show just a couple items in the eBay cave that sold. And then Regan's going to give you her little announcement. So let me go upstairs and track down the Homeschool Hustlers and see if we can't get them out here and tell you what sold out of their store. All right, we have a couple of Homeschool Hustlers here sitting in the same chair. I love that chair. That might be my favorite find for this Commonwealth cabin is that blue chair. Yeah. It is heavy as all get out, but it's comfortable and it leans back. And both of you two can fit in it. It's pretty big. Yeah. All right, we had 2 items sell. This is the first. Turner, you don't even know who that is, do you?
No.
When I was a little boy, Turner, I remember going to Arizona to visit my mumsy. And I remember when we were there, we went to Toys R Us, and we begged and pleaded with my mom to buy us the wrestling ring and the action figures that we could wrestle with, and that was one of them. And we did it, and I think she did it for us so that we wouldn't bug my my grandma and grandpa when we were there, I think. But I remember that pretty vividly. And that was 1984, so you know what? I would have been 7 years old. What do you think of that?
What's his name?
Now, this guy is Hulk Hogan. He's not in great shape. He's got a lot of paint missing here, and he's kind of dirty. I wiped him off, but didn't get into great detail. $9.95 plus shipping on him. Perfect ones go for a good amount of money. And Reagan, you know what? This would be a good one if you ever start your, like that one show you watch where she goes in and takes everything and repaints it.
Yeah.
You know, to do that. I've seen people strip them down and take all the paint off of them and sell them. And have people redo them, customize them. So anyway, that's an interesting way to do it. We have another sale. Let's look up here. All right, so we have Dogbert, and you don't know who Dogbert is either. And this didn't sell for too much. I think it was, oh, I can't remember, somewhere around $7. But we had somebody buy this, Jane. She's a wonderful supporter of our channel, and she always comments. And this is the third Eneman she's bought, and I think it's because I didn't send her a misfit when she asked for it. And Jane, you have my apologies, and thank you for all your support.
Yeah, can I also tell you something?
You can tell me something.
I have heard people say the name Hulk Hogan.
I bet you have.
People say it.
That's right. You know, your cousin, Austin, he really loves watching those old wrestlers. Yeah. Yeah, look what these are the ones I watched when I was a kid. I liked a bad guy. I liked Roddy Piper. But I like the good guys too. So, anyway. So maybe your cousin's out there watching and he knows who he is. Okay? All right, and that's a good hint to tell people if you're out and about and you see vintage wrestling stuff, it usually sells pretty good, even VHS. So, anyways, you want to say thank you to Jane?
Thank you, Jane.
All right, see y'all.
Bye.
All right, welcome back inside the eBay cave here, old time's sake. Got to come back in here, just even if it's for a few minutes every day, right? And I have been moving things out and trying to reorganize in here. And my goal is in the next week or two to give you a little tour of in here too, although it is not nearly as glamorous as out there in the shed. It's going out. I believe this is to a viewer, and I think this is to Jesse. And I think you might have left me a message in the video comments. At any rate, I couldn't track it down. I've been looking for the last 5 minutes. I finally gave up. So, Jesse, thank you so much for the purchase. 2 Red Hot Chili Pepper hats, and they are pretty cool. You know, I'm going to send you the ones that are new in the package. I think this is the only one I have they're all new, but this one's out of the package. It has the cardboard in it, but I just wanted everybody else to see what it looked like. These were Goodwill buy, 99 cents a piece, and I must have bought 50 of them, and it's taken 3 years to sell down to, I think we have 3 left. And they're only $9.90, something like that. $9, no, I take it back. $9.95 free shipping. So even at that, with the 2 of them, should be just under 16 ounces, and we'll ship them out to you. So Jesse, we appreciate the purchase very much, and we thank you for the support. Hope you enjoy the Red Hot Chili Pepper hat. I got a sale going out to Jolene, and I don't know if you left me a message or not, and if you did, I apologize. I don't see one up here, but Jolene, thank you so much for the purchase. We appreciate it, and we hope he brings you some great luck. All right, here is an anthology shirt, and it looks like just a plain gray t-shirt, but, which it is, it's an XL, and it is 100% silk. And it sold for $14.95 plus shipping, and this is from the Uncle Dave lot of free clothes that he was generous enough to give us. So thank you, Uncle Dave, $14.95 plus shipping. All right, we have one going out here to Shane. He says, Kevin, been watching and learning from your channels for months now. Decided it was time to take the plunger on this one and acquire myself an Eneman to blow out my stock out of the back door. I first thought maybe he made a mistake by saying take the plunger instead of take the plunge, but now at the last comment, I think maybe he's just saying it a little tongue-in-cheek. Please sign it for me if you can. So we will do our best to do that for you, Shane. And he says his eBay store name is CarShane1. So thanks so much. We appreciate it, and we hope it gives you some great luck. And of course, the obligatory mousetrap balls, a set of 2, $5.99 free shipping. And we make just a little bit of money on those as well. Hey, and this one is going out to Wes. He said wanted to get these before they run out. We're also resellers, and this will look good in our eBay room. Keep up the great content, Wes. Razorback Pickers. Thank you so much, Wes. We do appreciate the support. All right, if Regan is going to grace us with her presence here, she has a little announcement for you back out there in the Commonwealth cabin. And we appreciate you for joining us as always. And we hope y'all are doing fine out there. And we will see you next time. All right, before my daughter comes in here and talks to y'all, she's excited about this. I'm excited about this. Let me give you a little context here. So I've been doing this channel since the very end of last May. So basically June of last year. And the initial thought, if you watch those early videos, I expressed why I was doing that. I was forcing myself out of my comfort zone because we were starting to homeschool my kids. And I feel like I wanted to create an environment for them to be able to succeed in a world that I'm not used to, that I'm not very good at. And my wife's not terribly good at technology either. So I thought this might be a good way to force myself out of my comfort zone and to bring myself along a little bit into a different world. And I would use something that I did know something about, which is reselling, in order to do it. And the channel kind of just took off for many, many different reasons, which I'm not going to go into right now. But I will just say, just because of the kindness of a lot of people. And we're grateful for it, but it was a little unexpected. And now we're presented with a lot of other learning opportunities for our kids, and we're trying to foster that. And so what we're going to do essentially, well, I'm going to let Regan tell you what we're going to do. Let's just say that when I was a kid, I was an awful student, and I'm a teacher now, and I feel like I teach that kid in the back of the room that reminds me of me. You know, I'm that kid that always needed an answer to the question, why do I have to know this? Why am I doing this? There had to be a purpose behind everything. And so I've always tried to create learning environments for students that were meaningful so that they wouldn't have to ask that question. It would already be answered before we started discussing things. And in history, that's not always easy. And so I've always taught to that type student because that's who I was. And so I want to create those type of meaningful experiences for my kids and not teach them, you know, out of a dry textbook necessarily, but teach them how to succeed and to have a purpose behind what it is they're learning and why they're doing it, and teach them practical lessons that will actually serve them well. And so we're going to give Regan a little bit extra responsibility. She's older than Turner, and we're going to have her do something and then hopefully learn a little bit of philanthropy as well at the same time. And we would appreciate your support, as so many of you have done out there. You've embraced us, embraced our family, and we appreciate it. And I'm going to love to bring Regan in here and tell you about what we're going to do. So to give you a little heads up, we're creating a Commonwealth Picker store, not an eBay store, but a store. And Regan is going to be the CEO. So I'll let her tell you the rest. All right, everybody, I've been telling you that Regan has an announcement, and she is in here. Regan, what have we been talking about lately?
A Commonwealth Picker store.
That's right. We've been talking about a Commonwealth Picker store. And who's going to run this store?
Me.
You're going to run this store, okay? And the first product that we picked out was this mug. And it was designed, by the way, it was designed by Two of a Kind Custom Designs. They were the ones who made that Commonwealth Picker emblem. But Regan picked it out. Now, we have a few different logos. And I told Regan to pick out the color of mug, to pick out the logo we were going to use, and I gave her a few little slogans, and she picked out one to put on the back. Why don't you show it to them? When in doubt, part it out. That's what she decided to put in the back. And so we opened a big cartel store, and she's going to run it, and she's going to get to keep some of the profit. How are we going to break down the money? How's it going to work?
I'm going to keep $1 for here, and then I'm going to put $1 in the bank for college or car, just to save them. And then,
how about college? But
yeah,
that's all right. We're going to save $1 long term. Good.
And then we're going to donate some of the money from all the mugs.
How much are we going to donate?
$1.
Every mug that we sell, until they're gone, we're going to donate $1. You're going to donate $1 to what?
St. Jude's.
So the coffee mug is going to go to St. Jude's. Okay, $1.
And then the rest of the money we're going to save for a new piece of clothing or another mug.
Okay, so when we sell these out, we're going to get something else, but we're going to save that money until we have enough money to buy something else. So I'm kind of taking this opportunity to teach her a little bit about business. You know, we like to homeschool, and this is going to be a good opportunity to teach her how to do some work. We've already run the numbers. We've run the numbers on how much these items cost. We even did a little practice on shipping to see how much shipping costs would be, and we've run averages. And so we've totaled out how much money she's going to make on each mug, and we've also included all the expenses. Now, of course, Commonwealth Picker has to get reimbursed for all the initial outlay the first time, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I got to recoup the money, and then after that, you'll know how much you have to save and how much, and then hopefully, if they sell out eventually, we'll have that little bit of money left over, and you can pick out a new design, a new mug, a new shirt, a new something, okay? Oh, and she also had a very good idea that she was going to do, and why don't you show us what you're going to do?
I'm also going to sell my drawings of Eneman.
Yep, and we are going to donate that money to St. Jude's. So she has done an initial... we get things moving in Eneman, and she's going to put that on there, and if somebody would like it, they can get it, and we're going to donate that money,
this is the
all
first
of it,
one
to
I
St.
drew,
Jude's.
So I put number 1.
Oh, you numbered them. Oh, Reagan. Oh, you are a sweetheart. Okay, so anyway, you know, if you guys are interested in doing that, we are going to post that. I don't know, maybe on tomorrow night's show I'll tell you where to find it. Maybe we'll put it on the in the description, or I'll say it in the video probably, and you can go on there and hopefully, if I got it all set up right, which I think I will, and grab one of those if you like. And that's the way we're going to set it up. Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
You think you can handle it?
Mm-hmm.
What if you get like 10 orders in a day? Are you going to be able to pack and ship 10 items?
Yeah.
Okay. You might have to employ Turner for like a quarter a mug or something. Have to pay an employee. I don't know. I wouldn't trust Turner with those things.
Not yet.
All right. Well, let me see that painting or that picture one more time, because that's really good. I like that. Now, she made one of those. I actually have the real number 1, so I'm going to keep that. So that's actually number 2.
Is the real number 1 for you guys.
All right. Okay, baby. I love you. All right. Tell them thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.